Panic in the workplace. When Slack goes down, picture this. It's a Tuesday morning. The office is buzzing with activity, the coffee machine is working overtime, and everyone is settling into their tasks. You're ready to conquer your to-do list. You've got your priorities set, and you're feeling productive. You open Slack, your trusty digital companion. It's the hub of your workday, the place where all your communications happen. But wait, it's not loading. Your heart rate spikes. You try again. Still nothing. You start to feel a sense of dread creeping in. Suddenly, you're cut off from your team, your projects, your memes. Yep, Slack is down. The lifeline of your workday has just been severed, and it feels like the world just stopped spinning. We've all been there, that moment of sheer panic when you realize you're disconnected. That moment of panic when you realize you can't access the endless stream of messages, files, and emojis. It's like being stranded on a digital island. For many businesses, Slack is the central nervous system of communication. It's where ideas are shared, decisions are made, and work gets done. So when it goes down, it can feel like a major disruption. Projects come to a halt, and the usual flow of information is interrupted. But before you spiral into a tech-induced meltdown, take a deep breath. Remember, this isn't the end of the world. There are things you can do. First, check if the issue is on your end. Sometimes a simple refresh or a restart can solve the problem. This isn't the apocalypse, probably. It's just a temporary setback. And like all setbacks, it can be managed. It's just a temporary setback. Use this time to reassess your tasks, maybe even tackle some offline work that you've been putting off. In this guide to surviving a Slack outage, we'll walk you through everything you need to know, from checking the status of Slack to finding alternative ways to communicate. We'll show you how to check if Slack is actually down, troubleshoot common issues, and find alternative ways to connect with your team. Whether it's through email, phone calls, or other messaging apps. By the end, you'll be a Slack outage ninja, ready to tackle any tech hiccup that comes your way. So, let's dive in and turn this disruption into an opportunity for growth and resilience. Is Slack down? Don't freak out, check here first. Before you start drafting that strongly worded email to your IT department, let's confirm if Slack is actually down. It's easy to jump to conclusions when you can't send that important message or join a crucial meeting, but sometimes the issue might not be with Slack itself. There are a few quick and easy ways to check. First, Slack's status page. This is the most direct way to see if Slack is experiencing any widespread issues. Your first port of call should be Slack's official status page. This page is updated regularly and provides detailed information about the current status of Slack's services. This handy website provides real-time updates on the status of Slack's services. You can see if there are any ongoing issues, scheduled maintenance, or other disruptions that might be affecting your ability to use Slack. You'll be able to see if there's a known outage, if it's affecting your region, and what Slack is doing to fix it. If the status page shows everything is fine, but you're still having issues, it's time to check another resource, Down Detector. Another great resource is Down Detector. This website collects user reports about outages and issues for various online services, including Slack. This website tracks user reports of outages for various websites and services, including Slack. If you see a lot of recent reports about Slack, it's a good indication that the problem is widespread. If you see a spike in reports on Down Detector, it's a good indication that Slack is experiencing issues. This can help you determine if the problem is on Slack's end, or if it might be something else. When in doubt, check Twitter. Social media can be a quick way to see if others are experiencing the same issues. Search for #Slackdown and see if other users are reporting problems. Often users will share their experiences and any updates they have found, which can be very helpful. This is a great way to get real-time updates and commiserate with fellow Slackers. You might even find some temporary workarounds or solutions shared by other users. Remember, just because Slack is down for some users, doesn't mean it's down for everyone. Outages can be regional or affect only certain features. It could be a localized issue or a problem with your internet connection. Make sure to check your own network and try restarting your router or modem. So, before you hit the panic button, check these resources to get a clearer picture of the situation. Taking a few moments to investigate can save you a lot of frustration and help you get back to work faster. Slack acting up, quick fixes for common issues. Sometimes Slack might not be completely down, but you might still experience some annoying glitches or error messages. These can range from messages not sending, channels not loading, or even the app freezing unexpectedly. Before you throw your computer out the window, try these quick fixes. Refresh the Page app. This simple action can often resolve minor issues. This age-old trick can work wonders. Just hit the refresh button, or press F5 on your keyboard. If you're using the mobile app, swipe down to refresh. Sometimes, a simple refresh is all it takes to get Slack back up and running. Check your internet connection. A weak or unstable connection can cause Slack to act up. Make sure you're connected to the internet and that your connection is stable. If you're on Wi-Fi, try moving closer to your router or restarting it. Try browsing other websites to see if they're loading properly. If other sites are slow or not loading, the issue might be with your internet connection. Clear your cache and cookies. Over time, your browser can accumulate a lot of data that might interfere with how websites and apps function. Your browser might be holding onto outdated files that are interfering with Slack. Go to your browser settings and clear your cache and cookies. Clearing your cache and cookies can often resolve these issues. It's a good practice to do this regularly to keep your browser running smoothly. Log out and log back in. Sometimes logging out of Slack and then logging back in can refresh your session and fix any temporary bugs. This can be especially helpful if you've been logged in for a long time or if there have been recent updates to the app. If none of these quick fixes do the trick, don't worry. There are still other options available. You can contact Slack support for more help or wait for them to resolve the issue on their end. Sometimes the problem might be on Slack's side, and they might already be working on a fix. Why is Slack down? Unraveling the mystery. So what actually causes these dreaded Slack outages? While Slack is generally a reliable platform, it's not immune to technical difficulties. Here are some of the most common culprits. Server overloads. When too many users try to access Slack at the same time, it can put a strain on their servers, leading to slowdowns or outages. Software bugs. Like any software, Slack can have bugs or coding errors that can cause unexpected issues. Cybersecurity issues. While rare, Slack can be targeted by hackers or malicious attacks, which can disrupt their services. Third-party integrations. Slack integrates with a wide range of third-party apps. Sometimes issues with these integrations can cause problems within Slack itself. It's important to remember that Slack is constantly working to improve its platform and prevent outages. They have teams of engineers working around the clock to ensure that their services are up and running smoothly. Slack is down. What now? Alternative ways to connect. Okay, so Slack is down and you need to communicate with your team. What do? Don't worry, you're not completely stranded in the digital wilderness. There are plenty of alternative ways to connect. Remember email? It might seem old-fashioned, but it's still a reliable way to send messages and files. There are tons of other instant messaging apps available, such as Microsoft Teams, Google Chat, and Discord. Need to have a face-to-face meeting? Hop on a video call using Zoom, Google Meet, or Skype. If you're using Slack for project management, consider using tools like Asana, Trello, or Monday.com. The key is to have a backup plan in place so that you can quickly switch to another communication channel if Slack goes down. Stay in the loop. Be a tech-savvy Slacker. In today's digital age, it's essential to stay informed about tech outages and other online disruptions. Here are a few tips to stay in the loop. Follow Slack on social media. Slack regularly posts updates about their services on Twitter and other social media platforms. Subscribe to tech news websites. Websites like TechCrunch, The Verge, and CNET often report on major tech outages. Use a website monitoring service. There are services that will monitor websites and services you rely on and notify you if they go down. By staying informed, you can be prepared for potential outages and minimize their impact on your work. Sharing is caring. Your Slack outage stories. We've all been there, experiencing the collective groan of a workplace suddenly cut off from their beloved Slack. But hey, at least misery loves company. Have a hilarious or hair-pulling Slack outage story? Share it in the comments below. Let's laugh and cry together. In conclusion, Slack is great until it's not. Slack is an incredibly powerful tool that has revolutionized the way many teams communicate and collaborate. But like any technology, it's not perfect. Outages can happen, and it's important to be prepared. By understanding how to check Slack's status, troubleshoot common issues, and utilize alternative communication channels, you can minimize the disruption caused by these outages. Remember, a little bit of preparation can go a long way in ensuring that you stay connected and productive, even when Slack lets you down. About the author. John Oliver is the host of the HBO show Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. He is known for his satirical commentary on current events and his ability to explain complex topics in a humorous and engaging way. Please note, this essay is a humorous take on the topic of Slack outages and should not be taken as professional IT advice.